Welcome. We are here today with Valérie Ferré. Thank you very much for joining us, Valérie. Valérie is Vice President of 3DEXPERIENCE Edu at Dassault Systèmes.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you for having me for this exciting conversation. We are going to talk about virtual twin experience, about skills, about what brings us together. Morgan, it's been more than a decade now that in Dassault Systèmes we talk about the experience economy and the fact that our customer need to produce not just product but experiences. We even talk now about the generative economy, a combination of this experience economy with sustainability. Obviously, in education, we are working a lot on how this impacts the skills of people. But for you, in your role, can you tell us as well how much it impacts the life of people working in these organizations?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good question. You know, when we have been looking at our customers that have embarked the journey of generative economy and previously experience economy, we have seen something quite interesting. The challenge, you know, when you're producing mobility as a service or a fly-by-the-hour, you know, for aircraft, is that you cannot anymore work within silos within the organization. You cannot anymore provide an experience by having a disconnected organization that does engineering, manufacturing, services, sales or marketing. You need to transcend the limitation of these silos within the organization and reconnect the people within the organization in new ways of working together.
You know that silos is something that I am familiar with as well.
I guess so.
Yes, there are silos in organization, but there are silos in education as well.
That's a good point. I was quite curious myself, because when I see the change within organization, when I see that today when you think generative economy, you are reconnecting, you know, the business and engineering in new ways, how do you see that in universities? How does that change in the educational process?
Well, you know, in Dassault Systèmes, we have been a partner to the education world for more than 40 years now, since the very beginning of the company, because we needed to make sure that we were supporting the development of the right skills for our industry customers. And you're right, the transformation that is going on right now is huge in the industry and in the education world as well. Breaking the silos, we tend to say that it's difficult in organization. Well, trust me, in a school, it is difficult as well, because schools have been organized very much by disciplines, by department, and whenever you want to make sure that those disciplines collaborate together, it's also a transformation. So with Dassault Systèmes, we have more than 40,000 schools that are deploying our solutions in their curricula right now. It represents roughly 8 million students every year.
Oh, that's an impressive number. Huh?
It is, but we still need to do more, and more specifically because right now, obviously with SolidWorks or CATIA, we are a standard in, for example, industrial design courses. We are also deploying our solution at department level, mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering department. And for the most ambitious one, who are deploying the 3DEXPERIENCE platform across the full school, we are talking about 3,000 students, 7,000 students that are adopting the platform to foster multidisciplinary. Because definitely what we want is to have students that are trained on collaboration, new collaboration practices, but also on talking the same languages across different disciplines. This language, in Dassault Systèmes, we call that the virtual twin experience. But what does it mean precisely?
Indeed, you are very right. What we have seen in enterprises is that virtual twin experience is a trigger that actually allows to connect all of these disciplines to start working together through a single language. But maybe I can tell you more about what is a virtual twin experience. And I will simplify it in a naive manner, if you allow me. Virtual twin experience is about having three things in one place. The most advanced representation of the product, the factory, or the company. Of course, that can be 3D because we are the 3D experience company, but that can also be ontology or system model. It's a representation. That's one. Two, it is a data that comes from the real world, that can be projected, predicted, coming from the past, or anticipating the future, that we are projecting on the model that I just mentioned. And then the people and the process. Model and data, that's Google Maps. Imagine I give you an Excel spreadsheet with location of restaurant and another Excel spreadsheet with location of flower shops. And I ask you to find a restaurant nearby a flower shop. It's a painful question, at least for most of us. But if they're on the map, it's obvious. Now think about it. If you take, talking about aircraft, you take corrosion data, simulation data, usage data, stress data, coming from different systems, coming from different disciplines. They're difficult to correlate. But if they are projecting on the same virtual twin of the same aircraft, then everyone in the organization is having the same language. And about people and process, collaboration, that's about eliminating email. How do you make sure that you go from a trigger to an action that you can actually trace and understand why you have taken that action and what has been the impact of that action? So virtual twin experience is about connecting every single piece of knowledge that you can capture from the past or from the future on a single understanding of the truth, which is through the virtual twin representation of the product, the factory, or the company, triggering collaboration points between all of the various disciplines. In my opinion, there is no reason why virtual twin experience could not be used in the same manner to connect the dots within your universities between the various disciplines. Have you seen that happening already?
Well, as I was highlighting, we are breaking silos within engineering school. But as you just say, it's not just about producing the right model for the right product, process, or experience. It's about making sure that we connect the model and the data. And we know that the data comes from many different other disciplines: marketing, finance, resources management, supply chain management. And all those disciplines are taught in business schools, for example, or in other universities. And we need to make sure that we connect really intimately engineering practices and business practices around virtual twin experiences. So it's true that our next challenge now is to make sure that we foster those kind of collaboration. They happen already, but they happen too much in a specialized manner. You know, at master degree, an engineer will take a master degree in business management, or a business school students will take some engineering courses to understand some technicality. But it's more than that. It's really about connecting those schools in collaboration spaces to make sure that they collaborate throughout their curricula, year 1, year 2, year 3, to mainstream a common languages around virtual twin experiences. It's not about creating specialty. It's just like data, right? It's not just about creating more data scientists.
I can't agree more. Data and AI should not be limited to data scientists. What matters is, can we empower everyone within the organization with the right piece of data, or the right knowledge, or the right predictions, or the right generated AI suggestions to help them be more effective in their work? Let me take a simple example for that. Think about a designer that is having to choose a material for a given component. What if we were able to deliver to that designer a crystal understanding of the impact of the decision for that material, whether you choose material A, B, or C, in terms of sustainability? We said generative economy was experience economy plus sustainability. Sustainability should be at the core of everything. But at the core of everything means that when you do a micro design decision, you need to understand the sustainability impact of that decision. You need to understand the weight impact of that decision. You need to understand the cost impact of that decision. And you need to be able to be guided in terms of arbitration. Be guided in terms of arbitration means you need to be able to understand the impact of that decision on the global product and where the global product sits at a specific moment in time. We want to do edge management. We want everyone in an organization to be empowered with the right knowledge, the right generative guidance, to be able to execute his tasks in the most effective manner.
Ultimately, actually, it's about elevating jobs and skills. It's about creating a new generation of business innovator. But don't get me wrong, it's not about starting new school to be able to address this challenge. It's about creating new partnership, new forms of collaboration at every step of education between engineering and business school. And we have the right solution to do that. With a 3DEXPERIENCE platform, with the virtual twin experiences, it's a fantastic new common language that we can put in the hand of engineering school and business school to foster this new form of collaboration that will be key in transforming the industry for tomorrow.
I have to admit, I look forward to seeing universities, engineering and business working together through virtual twin experience.
Let's make that happen.
Thank you very much, Valérie.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.